I just want to start by saying thank you for a great show. I will try to not to ruin the moment. So a little bit background here is that Atomize was actually started commercially earlier this year, and we have had a beta version out in the market for more than 1 year. And before Atomize, I was a CEO of an ad tech company, which became the world leader in price optimization for publishers. So we sold that company in 2014, and now we started Atomize, and the majority of the engineers at Atomize are coming from the previous venture, which means that we have a leading team in optimization, machine learning, and data scientists, which I'm really proud of. What we have done here is that we see ourselves very much as disruptors. We want to be disruptors because otherwise we don't want to be following others. And we even go so far that I found this statement, which I further down the road realized was my own statement, a quote, which is that with today's power of AI and machine learning, you don't even need reports. So with the team we have on board, and together with more than 100 interviews with different revenue managers and hoteliers across Europe especially, we clearly found a response throughout those questions about, and it's hoteliers generally don't like reports. They need more decisions. And that is sort of the philosophy of Atomize. We don't believe in reportings. We don't believe in charts, graphs, pickup charts, stuff like that. Because with this power we have on board, you shouldn't be needing those kind of graphs, spending time on that. And the fact is that when we started also during this journey over this year, we also came across a quite significant number of different perspectives, but it was quite the same response to everything. That was that the interesting thing is that one who is going into the hotel industry has a certain profile or DNA in one sense or another. And it's not, to me, to us at Atomize, it's obvious. It's not, the intention was not to sit in front of the desktop, to analyzing reports and graphs. It was more like, I want to serve guests, I want to operate an hotel, that's my passion. And but when they open these hotels, the reality is something completely different. And what's also interesting here is that when we have when building a software, I think the biggest sort of mistake software companies do today, in many areas, is that they build the software as a software company. So you have to be well aware of who you're building the software for. That is a hotelier, usually, many times they don't even have a revenue manager. So the system needs to work along those lines. And also, as I said, they don't like to look into reports. Well, then the system needs to support that to be fully automated. So right now we're running betas. We have a product live in the market. Last month we closed a deal with one of Europe's biggest hotels with 1,200 rooms. And we also have hotels with 8 rooms, so we can do the full spectrum in that range. And we can also do chains and stuff like that. And we can see also clearly the uplift that our clients see throughout our portfolio. So the average Atomize client has an uplift of more than 15% in RevPAR, which I think is quite significant. Also what we can see going fully automated version, to some it might be like, wow, that is scary stuff. But we thought about that as well. So the way it works is that you as a hotelier or revenue manager, you set a certain price range. Within that price range, you let Atomize set the price automatically. And as soon as the price recommended from Atomize is recommended outside that boundary for a certain room type, the revenue manager is notified, either through SMS or now it's an email, but we'll add other channels to that. And it's notified, and he or she can go into the system and review and manually accept that price suggestion and push that directly, in this case to Mews. And so we're turning everything around, right? Rather than spending time on reports that just need to sort of analyze, we are taking the step of actually taking those decisions, and then you can revoke or override what we have suggested or set already in the PMS. So this is another one, which is a bold statement, but I strongly believe that revenue management is a legacy term in itself for many reasons. Just looking at when the term was invented, so to speak. At that time, revenue management required to involve a lot of people. You had a team to crunch a lot of numbers and graphs. And then there were the rule-based systems coming along, and things were getting better, there were some sort of algorithms, and then we still were at a very wide scale there still. And, but I'm really proud that we are taking the next step, where we have the full AI in terms, especially with machine learning, with probabilistic modeling, to really generate something that adds value and saves tremendous amount of time for hoteliers. And the last thing that I think is quite exciting as well, why I think revenue management is a legacy term, is because it's only looking at revenue. And so what we're looking at right now, which we're going to start doing beta tests probably later this year, is actually profit management. And to be able to do that, you need to go even a step even further. What you need to do is really to add cost elements from the hotel operations, like cleaning, stuff like that, to be able to assess if it's even feasible to sell the last room. Because you know, and what you end up with then is a profit revenue per available room, which I think is quite cool. So to optimize for profit rather than just revenue is something we are looking at right now. And then to operate a system, a revenue management system, from my stance at least, this is my viewpoint, to be able to run this today, I mean in today's environment, it needs to be real time. Because the world happens in real time, so must the system. It must act on live data. So it's one thing to pull data, have real data sitting on that live data. But just after a couple of minutes, 1 hour, or even worse, hours, that data is obsolete. And I mean, taking a decision for pricing your rooms on obsolete data, you have a syntax error right away, right? So this is the reason why we need to push for automated solutions, to be instantly be able to take those decisions, pushing those, and then rather afterwards, if the revenue manager doesn't agree with what has been pushed, you revoke those or override. It also requires what we call the 360-degree automation. What that means is that, which is pretty cool as well, is that many systems out there today, they have some sort of machine learning. I know that. I mean, that's cool. The thing is that with Atomize, for every forecast we're doing down per room type, as actual data is coming in, we're comparing our previous forecast for that certain actual time point with actual data. And that actual data input is fed back into the optimization engine. and the optimization engine learns from past performance. And last but not least, we believe in mobility. So the coolest thing on earth, we think, is that you can run all this operation, your full operation, even a hotel chain, from your mobile phone. So the whole system is mobile first. It's just an application. We have everything, KPIs and full forecasting. So this is the way it looks. So you can have full overview, KPIs, be able to updating the prices, and you can see this as they are pushed real time. And then you also get a notification here, those that are accepted according to what Atomize suggests, but those that are overridden are in orange. It doesn't look so good on this screen maybe. But so you get a clear notification what you have pushed and what is manually overridden. And of course then also pacing reporting, full screen on a mobile phone. That's about it. Thanks.